Welcome to Music Explored. I'm David Rivas. Last time, we looked at the concept of pitch and how that applies to our Western tuning system. Today, we're going to take those same ideas and apply them to organized sets of notes that we call scales. There are several different kinds of scales used in Western music, but the two most common today are major and minor. They're used across different nationalities, genres, and styles. The major scale is a collection of 7 notes, ending with a repeat of the first note to get that important octave. It has a bright sound that we usually associate with happy, peaceful, or majestic music. We use the letters in a sequential pattern throughout the scale. This means we don't repeat or skip letters in the same octave. We also use sharps and flats to change our notes as needed to make sure we get the correct combination of whole and half steps. Here's the pattern for major. Whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. Use this pattern starting on any note, and you'll be able to get a major scale. Some of our keys can be spelled by more than one letter. If you're not sure about what to spell it as, make sure you go sequentially through the scale. Start at the beginning and go through the letters in order without repeating. If you do it right, this will always give you the correct answer. Now let's take a look at a couple of examples of that major scale. We identify major and minor scales by their starting letter, which is their tonal center or key. The easiest major scale to explain at the piano is the C scale. Let's start with the lowest note on C, then add a note a whole step higher, which lands us on D. Go up another whole step and we land on E. Next we need to go up just a half step, which is where the next white key lands, since there's no black key between E and F. Following that, we move up 3 whole steps in a row to G and A and B, before finishing with the half step up to C, which is another half step to a white key, because there isn't a black key between B and C. Next, let's take a look at A major. We start with the lowest note on A, then move up a whole step to B. But to move up another whole step, we need to skip C and go up to C sharp. We can't call it D flat because that would skip C and repeat D for the next note. And remember, we're trying to stay sequential, so we call it C sharp. Next, we move up a half step to D, a whole step to E, and then another white to black whole step to land on F sharp. We add one more whole step to move up to G sharp, and finish with a half step to return to A. Like the majors, minor scales have 7 sequential notes before repeating the first note at the end. However, there are 3 types of minor scales, all closely related but distinct. Composers use these types to express the ideas of sadness, anger, drama, and action. The first of these types is the natural minor, closely related to the major scale. The step pattern is whole half, whole whole half, whole whole. Next we have the harmonic minor, which has a strong push to resolve to the final note. The step pattern here is whole half, whole whole half, 1 1/2, half. Notice that the next to last step is actually larger than a whole step, which helps to create that sense of push to reach the final key. Finally, we have the melodic minor, which smooths over that big step at the top, but still moves us firmly to the top of the scale. The step pattern here is whole half, whole whole, whole whole, half. Try saying that 5 times quickly. Now let's look at some examples of the minor scales, starting with A minor. For the natural form, we start on A, move up a whole step to B, and then move up a half step to C. We then move up 2 whole steps in a row to D and E, then up a half step to F. We conclude with 2 more whole steps, going up to G and ending on A. Notice that this is the same series of notes that we used for the C major scale, but starting on a different note changes the feel. To change this to harmonic minor, we only need to move the G up to G sharp, which makes the step from F natural to G sharp a doozy. The rest of the scale is the same. To change the natural minor to the melodic starting on the A scale, we move up F natural to F sharp and G natural to G sharp, but only when we go up. To go down, they revert back to G natural and F natural. Finally, let's take a look at C minor. For the natural form, we start on C, move up a whole step to D, and then move up a half step to E flat. We can't call it D sharp because that would repeat D and skip E, compromising the sequential nature of the scale. Next, we move up a black to white whole step to F, followed by a whole step up to G. Then we move up a half step to A flat, and follow that with another whole step to B flat. Finally, we move up with another black to white whole step, ending on C. To change this to harmonic minor, we move the B flat up to B natural, but leave the rest of the scale the same. To change the natural minor to the melodic, we move up A flat to A natural and B flat to B natural, but again only on the ascending pattern. The descending pattern uses B flat and A flat. You can use these same patterns to build a major or minor scale on any of the 12 notes of our Western system. Later, we'll explore some specific tonal centers and the relationships they have with each other. For now, you've got the basics in hand to build a major or minor scale anywhere you like, so have fun. Thanks again for coming along today. Now that you know about the idea of pitch, the range of lower and higher notes, and how to build major and minor scales, you'll be able to interact with music in a whole new way. So listen carefully to those recordings you have. Think about the range in which you sing, and play some scales on an instrument. If you have questions about today's content, leave a comment below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Subscribe to the YouTube channel for notifications about future videos, and like the Facebook page for production updates and news about the channel. And if you'd like to get even more out of Music Explored, check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/musicexplored. Starting at just $1 a month, you'll get access to exclusive content like lists of upcoming videos, downloadable scripts, voting on future content, and more. Thanks again, and keep exploring.